Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is called Outreach. I saw a seashore with the tide coming in very quickly, with big waves that rolled further and further onto the shore. I heard the words, "You cannot hold back the incoming tide, so why not flow with it? You cannot hold back the new age, so why not go with it? Be part of it. Give eternal thanks for it, that you are consciously aware of it." Findhorn has never been just a community, an alternative to the rat race, a place where one can escape to live in seclusion and peace. It's not an ivory tower, an island cut off from the rest of the world. On the contrary, there's always been at Findhorn a very real caring about the state of the world, only too well aware of the dangers which are ever present from nuclear conflict or pollution or an energy crisis or the continuing destruction of the planet's skin of fertile soil. The people of Findhorn have always had a keen sense of responsibility to the peoples of the earth. In one form or another, there's been a deep awareness that what was being worked out quietly and unobtrusively in a corner of northeast Scotland was of supreme importance to the whole world. In one form or another, there was always an inflated ego on the part of those at Findhorn, or it could be a more daring and glorious act of faith that God had a vast plan for mankind, which, if known and followed, could lead to a new age, and that Findhorn was a key point in that plan. Folly, delusion, madness, or truth? Everyone has the right to their own answer to that question. But Peter and Eileen Caddy were superbly certain that they had been guided to Findhorn as part of that divine plan, that what they did there was nothing less than the unfolding of that plan, and all who are with them share that same daring vision and faith. Not that the details of the plan were clear at the start. It was only as they took one step at a time and learned the lessons of each step that the way forward became clearer. From the first days of Findhorn, there was a quite definite sense that although they could not as yet see what it was, there was a purpose for being there, a pattern which would emerge in time. I want you to know that I have brought you and Peter together for a very, very special purpose. You work as one, and you must realize this fully. How few there are who have been brought together in this way. It is not by chance that you have been brought together under these circumstances. It is all in my plan. You have something to accomplish, and it is not impossible. If you can do it under these conditions, all groups can do it. Therefore, never despair. I am with you, and I want you to bring this about. You know that part of the work that has to be accomplished, I say part because it would not be possible for you to grasp the enormity of it at this stage. You are only a small child learning to walk. You would not tell a small child that it was going to walk hundreds of miles when it can only take a few tottering steps. So with you, it would not help you to allow you even to glimpse the future, for you to see the extent of the work to be done. You would laugh and say it was impossible, or you would become afraid and want to run away. I just show you a little bit at a time, and with infinite love and patience, I help you to take each step forward. The work you have chosen to do is far too important. I need each of you moving forward all the time, sometimes slowly, then a great surge forward, always towards the goal. The only thing that matters at this time is the greater work, the work you are doing for me. All else is as nothing. The greater work has moved forward in leaps and bounds. See all this like the ever-moving sea. The waves roll back, but the next wave moves further forward, on and on. You are just gathering momentum for the next great surge forward. Know that you are in the right place here. Nothing is by chance. There is a perfect pattern and plan running through the whole of life, and you are all part of that wholeness, therefore part of that perfect pattern and plan. When you see strange things happening in your lives and wonder why they happen to you, take time to look for that perfect pattern and plan and see how it fits in, and you will see a reason for everything. In this divine plan, it was not by chance that Findhorn was where they came and where they settled. The very place was important, a special place for a special purpose. It would be best to stay as near Findhorn as possible for the time being. Findhorn radiates great light. It has been prepared over many years. Sometimes you wonder if it is right to have a long-term policy about this place, especially when you find it hard to see any further than one day at a time. This place is being very specially prepared for vitally important work. You have been placed here under these circumstances for a very special purpose. There is a truly marvelous thread running through the whole situation. I want you to look upon this place as a permanent home and know that all the effort that is put into it will bear abundant fruit, not only material but spiritual as well. Remember, this is a vast work. You each have your specific part to play, therefore you must not hold up the work in any way, but always seek guidance. Find what I require of you and do it wholeheartedly and joyously. I have told you that there is still work to be done here in this center, building it up until it is completely protected in every way. The work that is being done by each could only be done in this protected area. That is why your work is so essential. When that has been completed, then and only then will you be shown what your next part in this vast work is. Things are changing so quickly, it would not be right to give you a further part of this picture. Be content to go ahead step by step. I never want you to take this center for granted. It is a living thing. It is growing all the time, growing in strength and power as each of you pour your radiations into it, receiving from above and below further radiations. So will the power grow ever stronger. This place is a very important place as a center. It does not matter where you are to be in the future. This is to be the established center where much of the work will be accomplished. Always work with that aim in mind. You will have to work step by step, awaiting developments. You are beginning to see the purpose of this place. When people say without thinking that this is like a little bit of heaven on earth, that's exactly what it is. When they say it's like the Garden of Eden, it is just that. That was where in the beginning man walked and talked with me, where we were perfectly at one. These souls do not even know why they say these things. It is because it is what they feel, and they are expressing the truth in their words. You will find more and more souls will come like this, and they will come back again and again because of this inner feeling. By 1965, when the garden was beginning to take shape and a sense of peace and beauty was created by it, the greater purpose began to be clearer, and others became aware of its special features. See this center in its true perfection, filled with souls who are simply here to do my will. and to walk in my ways. There is no dream world. This is reality I'm speaking about. This is what you are to hold before you and so help manifest in form, where all your needs are met, where lack is unknown, where seemingly insoluble problems are solved in the twinkling of an eye, because all any soul wants is to seek my will and obey it instantly without any thought of self, because all their faith and trust is completely in me, and their only desire is to do all to my honour and glory, where harmony and peace and deep contentment reign. You cannot yet see in what form the work will take up here, but do not let that concern you. Simply let it open up quite naturally and gradually, but realize that everything is being stepped up. The function of this center is also changing. There is no longer to be a set pattern to follow, but allow the Spirit to guide in the moment. Each soul who comes here will be drawn by invisible threads, and their needs will all be entirely different. This is a living, working center. Therefore, it is necessary for each one who comes to take part in the living and working together. It is most important that they feel part of the whole. There are lessons in this direction, which all of you will learn in the days to come. Resist nothing. Feel a complete welding into a whole in all that takes place. See that every need is met in every soul when they come. All will be different. Only those who are really seeking the truth will come here. Therefore, the truth can be given to them straight, without anything to veil or disguise it. Always there must be love flowing out to each and every one who comes, so that they know they are loved and needed, and the very rightness of their being here makes them feel part of the whole. Love heals all wounds, all misunderstandings, brings harmony where there was discord, joy where there was sorrow. So pour it out unceasingly, but very quietly and unobtrusively. Let it seep into everything that is done. It will work wonder upon wonder and will open up all the heart centers, even those that have been closed a very long time. A few drops of the oil of love will work wonders untold. See the work that you are doing as a universal operation. You each have your specific part to play in the whole. You will see that you are all part of the perfect whole, that all you are doing is for me and under my direct guidance. When I tell you you are to bring down my heaven upon this earth, what does this really mean to you? It means bringing down perfection, beauty, and harmony. It means learning to live in love and harmony, to love one another, to help one another, and together help raise the vibrations of this earth to a higher plane of consciousness. To be able to do this, you must be completely dedicated to the work I have given you to do, no matter what it is, to accept the fact that I know what is best for each of you. I want you to see this, my chosen place, Findhorn, as the headquarters of the vast universal operation, that here there must always be the nucleus, the very heartbeat of the work. No matter what coming and going there is, the directives and policies for the whole vast operation must come from here through me. This direct link with me is the secret of everything. Lose that and you will lose everything. Build on that and you build on a sure foundation, immovable and unshakable. At first, Findhorn was seen as a magnetic centre with only a small group of people there. They would make contact with other groups all over the world, sending light to them and uniting them, thus forming a network of light that would cover the whole planet. This centre is like the heart of the sun. From that heart, great rays will radiate out and touch the ends of the earth. Faith will move mountains. Know this with all of your being. and let nothing stand in the way. Let my will be done. Let that be your constant prayer, and all else will work together perfectly. You have much work in radiating light to the magnetic centers. The greater work has begun now. You feel the strengthening and linking of the network of light as you've never done before. Something that has so far only been a picture is becoming very real. The crooked shall be made straight. See the network of light very clearly. It may be crisscrossed, but those beams of light are straight, and those radiances can flow to each station in full power. Let this picture grow and grow until it becomes a reality to you. As you go forth in purest love and answer the call of many across the ethers, you build the bridge for light to walk upon fearlessly. Know that when love has built the bridge, the recipient is ready to receive light in all its power. Love is so gentle, so unobtrusive, but so sure. Like a candle, it lights the way. It pioneers the way for light. When you understand the strength and power of light, how very destructive it can be if it is used wrongly or at the wrong time, you can see the vital role love has to play. The balance of the two is the perfect combination. Go forward fearlessly to prepare the way, sending forth my love radiances. You will find that it is need that draws forth the love. The greater the need, the greater the love. Each day as you unite and send out the light, a very vital work is being done. Time spent in radiating out is never wasted. Not a second is wasted. Consciously send out light and more light, love and more love, to individuals, to groups, to nations, to the world. The need is very, very great. Therefore, the need must be answered. It does not matter what you are doing. You can open yourselves up and allow yourselves to be used. Simply become aware of an individual or a group and channel light and love towards them. You may be peeling potatoes or digging in the garden or doing 100,000 little things that need to be done, but you can still be used to channel light and love to others at any time. Remember, you are on duty 24 hours a day, so be ever on the alert and be very sensitive to the needs of all around you. Be at peace. Do not strive or strain. All this can come about absolutely naturally. You see a need and answer it. Let your lives be a song of praise, joy, glory, and thanksgiving. As time went on, it became even clearer to Eileen and Peter that they were not just at Findhorn to do work such as contacting other centres and sending out light to the world. They were in fact the spearhead of a new age. They were pioneering a new way of living, which would spread throughout the world and give new hope for the future. People would come from every land to learn this new way and then go back to live it out wherever they might be. Have I not told you over and over again, you are pioneers of the new, you are a spearhead. Your way is rough and stony because of this, but it'll be easier for those who follow, because many of the stumbling blocks will be removed and the pitfalls will be revealed. The mistakes you have made in the past need not be made by others. You are smoothing the way. Say no more time need to be wasted. Everything is being speeded up. You often feel that you're on the verge of a volcano which is ready to erupt at any moment. This is indeed the state of the world at this time. The life you've taken for granted is unique. Many there will be who will long to live it, who will be drawn there. You've started in a small way to do a tremendous work and will grow and expand very rapidly. Be prepared for this. You are indeed pioneers and explorers into the new. The way you are opening up will be used by thousands and not just by a few. It is so easy to lose sight of the goal in your everyday living and fail to see the unique way in which you are living because of the very simplicity of your living. You fail to see how vitally important it is when you are too close to something or somebody. This can happen only too easily. Stand back every now and again and view it from a distance. What has begun is to go on from strength to strength. What is happening now is absolutely new. There is no blueprint to follow, no lines to run along. Think big thoughts. Nothing is fantastic, nothing is impossible. Absolutely anything can happen now. A tremendous power has been released, and nothing can stop its onrush. You have all been brought together so that my spirit can infill you. None of you will ever be the same again. There is no going back from this moment onward. Your lives have become new. Arise and walk in the new. What you've been pioneering here in this center will have to be put into practice and lived in a great many places. Group living is a thing of the future. This is a living, working group, and what has been pioneered here will be used by many all over the world. The years of work, which have been done very quietly and steadily, will bear much fruit. For all that has been done has been guided step by me, and has been done to my honor and glory. Therefore, only the perfect can spring forth. Just a handful of people, guided and directed by me, with their lives wholly dedicated to me and my service, can change the old way of life into a completely new way. This is what you are doing, step by step. All is new. So step out fiercely into the new age. You are pioneers of the new age, of a new way of life. You are developing your prototype for group and community living. You are doing what many long to do, but do not know how to go about it, how you live, where you live, your attitude towards each other, the giving and receiving, the rough edges that have to be rubbed off. Everything you do is forming a pattern, this new way of life. Your way of life is being boldly put on the map. It'll be there for all to see, to follow and to learn. All this is in my perfect plan. This is the way it is to come about. Gradually, the greatness of the task they had undertaken became clearer to Peter and Eileen and those who were with them. Findhorn was nothing less than the growing tip of humanity. This was the vision and the faith which inspired and made possible all that was done and kept them going through the years of preparation. What has taken place during this time is so tremendous, it has changed the course of history already. Keep ever alert, you will behold this wondrous truth open up and grow and develop. The speed at which this happens will astound you all. There is not a moment to be lost in freewheeling. Each of you will effortlessly move ahead doing what has to be done. Tremendous things are happening now. Nothing can stop the onrushing tide of light and love which is being released. Every soul must now choose the way. There can be no more sitting on the fence. Every soul will now step one way or the other, will be carried with the tide of events. There can be no more arguing, for the time has come in every man's life when he must choose and choose wisely. Never before has there been such a dividing of the ways. Very great changes are about to take place, not just in your life, but in the whole universe. But it will not be a comfortable time for those who try to go against it. It is terribly important each one goes with it, with no fear, no concern. Simply knowing this great upheaval is necessary, this cleansing is essential before the next stage can be brought forth. From this time onward, a new phase of the work will begin. You are wondering what form it'll take. It'll open up quite naturally. Just keep yourselves open so I can use each and every one of you as my channels to bring forth and develop this new phase of the greater work. This will be a great leap forward. Let there be no resistance. So much is happening on the higher planes which must now be brought down onto this plane. This is something that will be happening to many groups, this new release of power. The work here will develop by leaps and bounds. Nothing can hold it back now. So much is waiting to be manifested. There are tremendous days of revelation. Keep on your toes and miss nothing. You each will have a tremendous part to play in the events which are to take place. It is I who brought you together. It is I who give my full blessing on each and weld you into one. You have been linked down through the ages, but have now been brought together again in this specific time for a special work which you will do together. It will unfold so simply and so naturally. The love between all of you is limitless and indestructible. This is a magnetic center. The power is being stepped up all the time, so all who are in tune will be drawn here. Do not just talk about the new heaven and new earth. It is up to each one of you to bring it down into your lives and living to make it reality. Do not talk about love and loving, live it, so that all can see what it really means. How many times have I told you the words without action are meaningless and useless? They are like hot air that evaporates into nothingness. You are to bring down my kingdom on earth by the way you live and behave, so your lives are an example, a joyous example which all will want to follow. Although this work was so great, each one had a part in it, no matter how insignificant that person might seem to be. The divine plan for the whole world meant that there was a plan for each individual. Each one could put God's will first in life and be used as a channel to bring his kingdom on earth. You have to accept the fact that you are indispensable to me, that without you there is a part of the jigsaw that cannot be completed, that you have an important part. Realize that if you do not have this new faith in yourself, you are but a piece of flotsam and jetsam, tossed about by the tide of everyday living. You have nothing to anchor yourself to, and every soul needs an anchor. The tides of life are strong, and you could drift aimlessly about. But without this anchor of faith in the knowledge that I have need of you, you will remain as steady and as firm as rock. Never sit back and say the world is an awful mess. The country is an awful mess, and there's nothing much you can do as an individual to help the whole situation. With love in your hearts and a complete surrendering of yourselves to me to use you as a will, I can use you as channels to do much to help, and to help many souls floundering in the darkness. When you sit in peace and stillness together each day, you become a tremendous power as the vibrations are raised and you open yourselves up and allow me to use you to channel my divine love and light out into the world and into the lives of individuals. In the days ahead, as the center of light grows and expands, more and more souls will be drawn here. Each one will have something specific to give to the building up of the whole. They will have to find out themselves what they have to contribute and then give what they have. You will find that many new and wonderful gifts and talents will come to light, and each one must be used and developed. This is another way in which a completely new phase of the work will develop. As souls learn to contribute the gifts they possess, so the community grows and expands. No one living in a community can live unto himself and just take, and give nothing. Let me use each one of you so that you can give of your very best in everything you do. Most souls long for peace and security, but they do not know how to set about creating it. They do a great deal of talking about it. They know it must be done on a world basis, or else the world will destroy itself. So they try to do this by repeated conferences. All this is good, but it's starting at the wrong end, at the top instead of at the foundations. And you cannot build a house of any sort without starting at the bottom with the foundations. As you think, so you are. As a nation thinks, so it is. If its outlook is one of aggression and war, it will surely create war. And no amount of talking about peace will bring peace. And when there is greed, hatred, and jealousy at the heart of a nation, no amount of talking about peace will bring peace. Change the thinking of a nation, and you change its whole outlook. How can this be done? It all starts with the individual. It starts from within. First, achieve peace within your own selves, within your own home, within your own community. And you only do this when you learn to love one another and live for each other instead of for the self. From that sure and rock-like foundation, you can then go forth and take peace into the world. In order to come through those early years at Findhorn, a strong faith was required, for there were very many difficulties in the way, many things to discourage them. Only faith in God, in his continuing guidance and blessing, and his limitless resources to meet their every need, could have carried them through. There is a very special purpose which will be revealed to you as you continually faithfully to do this work. It's not always necessary or right for you to know the reasons for everything. Sometimes it's good for you to simply act in faith, and so build up your faith and strengthen it. You know how much of this work is based on faith, yet so often your faith begins to waver because you do not see any concrete results. Doubts and fears begin to creep in. How can I unfold my wonders to you if you've not got faith, a really strong, unshakable faith? I have to hold back so much until your faith has been built up and reveal just the smallest particle of the wonders that are waiting to be revealed to you. The quicker your faith is built up, the quicker the new will appear to you. Be strong in faith and trust. I will not deceive you. You may be sure there has been a plan running through everything that has happened to you. If there is a need, know that that need is already being met. It is a case of learning to know that I already know all of your needs and that I meet those needs, but you, with your firm belief, have to manifest them. I have told you that you are to work miracles in my name. Therefore, know that you can do this. And when an opportunity presents itself, instead of flinging up your hands and saying you cannot do such and such a thing, immediately turn to me. Place yourself in my hands and say, use me as your instrument. Let go of any strain. Affirm that you can do all things in my name and simply do them. I want you to believe in my wonders, believe in my miracles, as you have never believed before. I want nothing half-hearted in your belief. You know the promises I have made to you down through the years. Some you have seen come about, others not yet. But from now on, I want you to know with all your heart that all I have promised will come about. Hold on to this. In so doing, you will help to bring it about. I want each of you to face this question of believing my word. You either do or you do not. If you do, then know that everything I say, I mean, everything I promise, I will bring about. When I ask something big of you, I never leave you to do it on your own. You have to take the initial step because that is the one thing I want you to do. But once you've done that, you will have help from every side. Seek that help and you will always find it. To attain anything in life, to learn the laws of manifestation, a soul has to learn the art of concentration, pinpointed concentration, for without this it cannot be done. It has to learn patience, persistence, perseverance, to go on and on despite all, holding the vision of what it is to be manifested, and know without a shadow of doubt that at the right time it will be brought into form for all to see. When you have experienced the wonder of manifestation, your faith becomes stronger and stronger, and you know the meaning of the words, faith can move mountains. The more impossible the situation, the stronger the faith and concentration needed. All this has to be built up gradually. It does not happen overnight. Never try to do this in your own strength, but keep seeking my guidance and direction over every step you take. The art of manifestation is the way of the new age. This is the way you are to live at all times, and so attain all your needs, whatever they are. Let those needs be for the benefit of the whole, never for the self, for no good will come of anything manifested for self. I know all your needs and will meet them, even before you are aware of them yourself, when you surrender all to me and leave all in my hands. In obeying the guidance Eileen received in building the outward structure of Findhorn and ever keeping the vision clear of what was to be done, the leadership and drive and dedication of Peter was an absolute essential. Over and over again, it was made clear that he had a unique place in this work and that he had gone through a very long training and preparation for it. Consider the qualities of a rock. It is firm, immovable, can withstand all the elements without being affected in any way. Now consider Peter. He is a rock. He has rock-like qualities which are absolutely essential for the tremendous work he has to do. He must know where he is going and must sweep anything and everything aside which stands in the way. It is a hardness and ruthlessness which you find hard to understand because it is so opposite to the way you work. I have given you each different qualities which should never be compared. Suppose Peter was uncertain of himself, supposing he kept pulling himself up, saying he was wrong. Suppose seeds of doubt kept popping up. He would be of no use. I need him absolutely rock-like and immovable for the work that he has to do. He is a very great leader. This needs to be accepted by you all. He needs the full backing of all of you. This makes things far easier for him. But whether he has the full backing of you all or not, he will not waver in his task. He will bulldoze his way through to the goal and to victory. With the help and cooperation of each of you, it will speed things up. What Peter has said about the necessity of getting rid of the old to enable one to build the new is the truth. Peter has a vision of this place, a vision I have given him, the vision he holds before him, and then he starts bringing that vision down onto this level. He knows what he's doing. Therefore, he can be ruthless because he knows out of that ruthlessness, perfection will be forthcoming. If he did not know what he was doing, if his vision was dim, then you might be worried. But this is not so. His vision is crystal clear and he knows what he is doing. Peter has the qualities, the determination to see through the most astounding and fantastic things. He has been trained and prepared for this through lifetimes, and what he has accomplished in times gone by, he will accomplish again in days to come. Nothing will daunt him. Nothing will take him off the path that he is on. Great will be the success of this vast operation. An immovable rock is needed at a time like this, and in Peter I have that rock. I can rely on him absolutely. There are very few I can say this about in absolute confidence, but with him it is so. Peter is a leader, and one day he will become a great leader of many, many souls, but he has important lessons to learn. A great leader holds the reins, but at the same time, he draws forth the very best from those he is leading from within each one. The best has to be used for the whole work. You each have such a different role to play. Each one is just as important as the other in your various ways. You are all needed and greatly needed, but so very often you get the feeling that you are superfluous. This is wrong. This is why there is often a feeling of imbalance in your group. This has to change. Learn to work together in perfect unison, because everything you are doing for me. It is absolutely essential that Peter holds all the reins and is in control of the whole vast operation. It is a vast operation. You can only see a tiny part of it, and so it will be with each of you. Peter sees the whole picture, and where he cannot see some aspect of it, he will search until he finds it. He needs help and cooperation, not a constant pullback from each of you. It is the self that rises up and creates opposition. Rid yourself of that self and flow with the tide, doing all to help, build and never hinder. Peter has been given a tremendous mission to accomplish, and he will do it no matter what obstacles are thrown in his path. I have given him this mission, and I am with him in all that he is doing. All his inspiration comes from me. When he sees a certain action has to be taken, even against great odds, he will take it despite all opposition. He will see this mission through. Never, never will he take no for an answer. Great will be the outcome. Great will be the victory. Simply know that he's doing my will and do all to help him. This I say to all of you. Choose the right path and walk in it. Look neither to the right nor to the left. Keep your eyes on the goal. You are the spearhead. The path which Peter is pioneering will be followed by thousands and thousands of souls. This is the new. Findhorn is based on the realization that the earth and all humanity are entering a new age. Give thanks that you are here on the earth at this time. Every group working for the light has a specific work which is being prepared for. Therefore, it is very necessary that you each seek until you find what work is yours. When you have found it, hold on to the vision I give you of it, and let nothing pull you off or distort that vision. I want you even now to build for the glorious future, for the new age. What is being built here at this time is for the future. See it grow and flourish in every way. Be not afraid to expand in every way. Do it all with complete confidence and faith, for all that is being done has my full blessings. Only the perfect can come out of it all.